tuning in once again to another episode of the Goodrich Chronicles. I am your host, Anthony Goodrich, and today we're going to discuss domestic issues in the household. This one in particular, I have to tell you, we have a 15-year-old boy who killed his father, and not for reasons that you might think, meaning because you think that the 15-year-old was doing something felonious or being mischievous or just wasn't listening or just felt like he wanted to be something that he wasn't. But this is the case of a 15-year-old actually protecting his family. He actually had to kill his father to protect his family. Let me give you a little bit of a background before we jump into the news conference of this domestic situation. Now, it's after 3 o'clock in the morning. You have a mother, her kids, and her boyfriend all in the house sleeping. But earlier in the day, the 15-year-old's father, or should I say the day before, the 15-year-old father was able to gain access to the code to get into the house. Apparently, they had dropped him off somewhere. I'm not sure how he got the code to get in the house, but apparently he did. And he shows up in the house at 3 in the morning. A fight ensues. I can only assume it's the boyfriend and the father getting into it. Well, whatever happened, the 15-year-old gets involved and he gets to his father's neck and was able to choke him out outside in the yard of the house. Now, when the police arrived, they found the boy still choking his father while they were on the yard. And to this point, that little boy or no one else has been charged or arrested for killing that man. It seems to me that it's a case of self-defense, you know? But to all you men out there, all y'all, if you feel the need to go to your ex's house in the middle of the night, for one thing, it's not for a good reason at that time of night. You need to rethink your thoughts. You need to seek help, or you need to talk to Jesus. Because going to your ex's house at 3 in the morning without them knowing you coming can only end up bad. So I don't know the details as to why he was there. I don't know the details to their relationship. I just know that the man ended up dead, and apparently the son felt the need to do something to protect his mom and maybe his siblings. So to all you men out there, you need to slow your roll. Think about what you're doing before you do it. And if you feel the need to go to their house for whatever reason, just don't do it. There's no other recourse. There's no other solution to it. Just don't do it. Now, I'll tell you, anything like that could only end up bad. Only. There's no good coming out of that. Your ex is an ex for a reason. Not for you to be coming over there at 3 in the morning uninvited. Now, here's the thing that I think about. What about the aftermath of the situation? How do you think that this is going to impact this 15-year-old boy for the rest of his life? Lord knows he's probably still in school. You think he'll be able to go to school every day and concentrate and think about his homework after he just killed his father? And regardless to what the situation was between him and his father, it may not have been good or it may have been good. The fact that you took somebody's life that you know cannot sit well with him and be a positive in his mind. Well, to some degree there is a positive in his mind because he protected his family. But I mean, as far as the long-term impact of it all. But you know what? I think about that situation again. And even though it was his father, most boys are closer to their mothers than they are their fathers. They would take care of their mother before they would take care of their father. Most boys will do anything to protect their mother from anybody in the world. And this is only coming from personal experience, that if I hurt somebody because I'm protecting somebody else, I don't have any bad feelings afterwards. Nope, not at all. And would do it again. So maybe from this 15-year-old standpoint of view, he won't feel bad about doing what he did. So that remains to be seen. I want y'all to check out this video.
Okay. Good morning. My name is Ben Katrib, spelled K-A-T-R-I-B. I'm a major with the Harris County Sheriff's Office, overseeing the Criminal Investigations Bureau. Standing with me is Captain Lonnie Tullis, District 4 Patrol Commander, Lieutenant Jason Sauer, and Sergeant Nieto. The information I'm about to share is preliminary and subject to change as the investigation evolves. At approximately 3:43 this morning, Harris County Sheriff's Office District 4 deputies were dispatched to the 21,400 block of Sagrantino Court in West Harris County concerning a family disturbance. A female reported that her estranged husband was banging on the door. A few moments later, the call was updated, indicating that the male had made it inside the home and a fight had ensued. Deputies arrived and separated everyone. They noticed a male laying unresponsive in the front yard. They immediately rendered life-saving measures until Cy-Fair EMS arrived and transported the male to an area hospital where he was pronounced deceased. What we know at this point is that a husband and wife, both in their 30s, were going through a separation. The husband was out of town but had recently returned. We know that he was here at the home the day before and was given a ride to an area hotel by the wife. He returned this morning and appears to have figured out the new code to the keypad that they have on the front door and had used it to access the inside of the home. There, he became involved in a physical fight with another adult male that was present. The fight led to the front yard, where a 15-year-old family member placed the father in a chokehold until deputies arrived. Harris County Sheriff's Office homicide detectives and crime scene investigators are actively conducting the follow-up investigation. All the facts of this case will be presented to the Harris County District Attorney's Office to make a determination whether or not any charges will be filed or whether to present the case to a grand jury. There is no ongoing threat to the community, and we urge anyone with information about this incident to call the Harris County Sheriff's Office non-emergency line at 713-221-6000 or Crime Stoppers of Houston at 713-222-TIPS. This is all the information I have. I'll take any questions.
Has there been issues here before? Any other calls for service?
No calls for service that we found at this location related to this family.
Could you talk about any charges for any people that are involved, possible charges?
So there's a lot of facts that we have to basically gather and just kind of unpack this entire thing. There's a lot of information. There were, other people present. So once we have all these facts, they will be presented to DA's office, and then DA's office can determine whether or not any charges will be filed, and specifically it'll be the juvenile division, or whether to present the case to a grand jury.
How many people have been detained today? We saw that an adult was also taken into custody.
So we had we had 2 adults detained, and there were 3 children at the home during this incident. So.
Major, can you go over how many people, just so we can, how many people were in the house?
Sure. So we have, we'll say the mom in her 30s, and she had 3 kids, the 15-year-old and 2 others in their early to mid-teens. There was another adult male in his 30s, and of course we have the husband who is now deceased, the estranged husband, and he's in his 30s.
Do we know the relationship between the adult that was taken into custody with the family?
So we have We have him detained for the investigation. We haven't, just to be clear, we don't have anyone arrested or charged with anything at this point. It appears that he's in a dating relationship with the mother. That's the preliminary information that we have.
Now you're saying there was a male in the yard when y'all arrived. Was the cause of that from the chokehold?
So again, the only way to determine that, ma'am, without speculation, is to wait on the autopsy report. So we'll see what the medical examiner uncovers, and based on that, we'll be on that determination. When they reveal the cause and manner of death, that's when we'll know for sure.
And so just to be clear, it's possible that he died from injuries from the fight with the adult male and from the chokehold with the 15-year-old or the teenager.
So, yeah, again, I'm not going to speculate on that because it's truly unknown at this point until we get at least the preliminary autopsy report.
Can you repeat who made the call to the scene?
The wife did, the mom.
And this was around what time?
3:43 this morning.
Was there any kind of protective order or anything that was like legally he wasn't allowed to come to the house, or it was just kind of a thing he wasn't living there anymore, wasn't supposed to be there, wasn't welcome?
Yep. So again, this is very preliminary, just to provide y'all what we know. At least I haven't dove into those details, but it doesn't appear to be the case in the very initial information that we have. But again, that could change as the investigation evolves.
I know you said the man was unresponsive in the yard. Was anybody still around him, or was he just there on the ground? Or when you got here, was the team still having him in a chokehold? What did you deputies see when they got here?
So the understanding we have is that he still had him in a chokehold until the deputies arrived and then separated everyone. So, but again, we'll have to review the body-worn camera and so forth to make sure.
No weapons recovered or anything?
I don't have any knowledge of weapons, no.
Is the 15-year-old that had him in the chokehold his son?
Yes, we believe so.
Now, I'm going to bring an update to this story when I find out more about what happened. Because there's a lot that had to have gone on before it got to this point. There's probably a long history of domestic issues before it got to that point. I can't imagine it was just a drunken stupor moment or just had a bad idea of going over there in the middle of the night. I think there's something more to it than what we all know about right now that what meets the eye. I can only hope and pray that that young man grows up to be a productive and honorable person and not let this situation take hold of him and he live his life by the wayside, because it can't happen. You get out in society and you just can't cope because of what had happened in the past. I pray that doesn't happen to him. I hope also that each and every one of you out there that are watching this video that may have some sort of domestic issue going on in your home, seek some help. Talk to somebody, whether it's a friend, a professional, or a clergyman, whoever. Don't try to handle it on your own, and don't try to take care of it by yourself. With that being said, y'all could have been anywhere in the world, but y'all chose to spend some time with me. And for that, I will always be grateful. Until the next time, and in the meantime and in between time, Anthony Goodrich, signing off.